I write. I have all these stories on my desktop of my computer, oddly, that are just sitting there, amusing only me. So it's your turn. Be amused or don't. I don't care. But I thought I'd do a little fireside chat without the chat because it's a monologue, and without the fireside. So close. The first thing I'm going to read, the first story, is The Fix. Born of necessity. Things break. Waves, horses, sweat, ground, hearts. It's like blender buttons. You push one in, another one pops out. I can't ever catch up. Broken things pile up until it's time to call a handyman or the company that makes the broken thing if it's way past turning a blind eye. In theory, throw money at busted stuff and it goes away. Lately, a new pattern is emerging which goes something like this. Number one, I can't stand putting up with an issue for one more second. So root around and find someone to come out and put the thing back to original settings in hopes of said item again behaving the way nature and or the commercial universe intended. Number two, and good luck with this one. Donate an entire afternoon to locating the right someone. Figure out what day, week, month they might be able to drop by. Organize to be home between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. and no potty break, so you might miss the doorbell for the 12 seconds the toilet is noisily flushing and your pants are down. Number three, when she finally arrives at 5:30 p.m., the traffic, the sitch is quickly perused and declared unfixable. Oh, and he can only park in that spot without being towed for 15 more minutes, so could I pay him for the house call ASAP? You need to buy a whole new thing, and no, he has no idea what would work better or where you might get it. Number four, conversely, it's fixed, thank God. Off he goes, but not before adding parts and labor to the house call amount. Or he needs to locate parts and come back another time. Call the office and schedule another visit. The thing breaks again within a short time, no matter how sure we all are that it's fixed. New choice. Ignore it till the authorities declare your place uninhabitable, or pony up another Benjamin if I can jump on the already overused new word bandwagon without readers tossing this in file 13. After way too many of these scenarios, I am done. PO'd enough to override my husband's don't you dare plea and to call someone. With a definitive stomp, I survey the broken bits from every angle. Order parts if necessary. Drag out my giant Home Depot toolkit and go to work as hubby begs me to stop. We both know if I make a giant mess of it, I told you so's will not cease at one. Oh, no indeedy. The pressure is on. He has every reason to be squirrely since my foray into pandemic barbering was not always a salon-worthy success. On not one, but two separate occasions, I neglected to add a length cutting guard on the electric hair cutter, and he was left with a lawnmower stripe going up his scalp. It was devastating for both. He handled the one up the back of his skull with aplomb. The one that he could easily see on the side of his head was more traumatic. I was in tears both times. So far this season, I fixed a screen door on the sliding glass balcony, which the installer declared unfixable, and we need a new one. The entire set of glass doors plus screens was put in at a huge expense 2 years ago. I wasn't home for that unfixable declaration and immediately went on a crabby rant about laziness. I knew it was a pain in the butt job. I put my face on the hot tile balcony floor to see what the problem was. My phone jammed into tight areas I could not see for informational photos of the problem. After a lot of sweating, a concerned husband, and about an hour or two later, we had one smoothly sliding screen door. The sense of satisfaction was incomparable. Hooked on the adrenaline rush, next came a chronically wobbly bathroom doorknob. Even after 3 handymen over the years, out came the Home Depot toolkit after a beautiful crystal doorknob finally smells smashing to the floor. One cheap glass look-alike later, it was on tighter than a new facelift. I bought a planer to plane off the door, which no longer fit right from wood-smelling humidity. My ego was running wild now. One of the toilets in the apartment ran. If you didn't stand around waiting for it to fully flush before manually pulling up the handle. Then it required removing the tank cover and pushing the stopper forward so it wouldn't make a whooshing sound every 10 minutes in perpetuity. A plumber had not effectively dealt with it 4 years ago, and I put up with it. Figured if a recommended plumber couldn't handle it, I was stuck until investing in a new toilet. I have other toilets, but that one is most conveniently located to my writing space. The sucker was always a problem right out of the gate. Heady from recent successes, I called Kohler, gave them the serial number of the toilet, ordered the proper parts, and waited, all charged up for my big moment of plumbing. When the parts came 10 days later, I was not so sure and ignored it for 10 more days until I got sick of myself and waded in. Now, I'm scared of mucking with electricity and plumbing for all the dastardly reasons you can imagine. First thing was to turn off the water source. I started twitching with fear that I would do something wrong and the entire condo would wash away in a tsunami of toilet water. After turning the valve clockwise, as the video indicated, I tackled the new red stopper in the back of the tank. I watched a newly made how-to home video and had to look at the guy's crotch throughout the demo, but it seemed successful. I got so nervous when I turned the water back on that I rang the condo super to check out my work. He came right up, declared it safe, and patted me on the head to stop the babbling. And could he please leave the water off now so I can replace the handle? I consulted the video Kohler emailed and eventually wrangled the suspicious new lever into place, which wasn't behaving exactly like it looked. A day later, I was giddy with excitement when I flushed the toilet and left the room without looking back. No waiting to jiggle the handle, not sticking my hand in the tank water to fiddle with the stopper, no whooshing sound 10 minutes later. I may have pointed out this success a half dozen times throughout the next day. Our beloved and trusted dentist's recent retirement. Richard is worried about his new untested dentist mucking with a lurking tooth problem costing many thousands. Flush from my monumental accomplishments, I will now Google tooth removal and implants. There has to be a Dental Work for Dummies book or a YouTube. I got this.